Now, when you're accessing resources remotely, so some things are just very basic. You go on the internet, you go online, you log into the account, you have a username and password, and that's it. It lets you right in. So that may be some of the accounts that you use. You're able to do that. A lot of times, though, especially nowadays, we want to make sure there is good security. So we have technology, for example, multi-factor authentication or MFA, especially if you're accessing resources like financial or other info. What'll usually happen is you will try to log in. It'll send you a code to your phone or your email, or it may call you, or a lot of times they even have like a phone app that you can work with. Authenticator is an app from Microsoft, for example, that does that. And that authenticates you. So that way it knows that, oh, okay, you have this extra way to authenticate so that it knows it's you and not somebody else there. So that's something that you are likely to encounter, especially when you get into stuff you're accessing at work. Also, the schools as well. Sometimes they'll have a QR code they want you to connect with. Basically, just opens up the website, gives you a specific code, so you're able to access that specific resource. And then there's also some remote access technology. I'm just giving some examples here. So maybe your work uses a gateway, Citrix Access Gateway is an example of that. And it could be set up different ways. Sometimes it's just connecting to specific applications. So you log into a website, maybe you have to use that MFA, and then you can access whatever you're trying to get to. Maybe it's My Documents, the documents that are at your work, a shared drive, maybe your company shares files amongst each other, or maybe it's an application. You want to get into your email, maybe it's the actual Outlook application that lets you get your email, your calendar, your contacts. It also may be set up a different way to actually get to a remote desktop. So instead of just accessing pieces, different resources, you may be able to just log in where you can get the full experiences of what that desktop looks like. So if you have a computer at work, you're trying to connect that way, you may have a certain way to do that. So there's different technologies that are out there. So just depending on what it is, maybe it's Vision app, maybe it's virtual desktop interface, where you're actually logging in to get that full desktop. And then you may want to set that up a certain way so that way you're showing on whatever your screen is that you have it set up correctly. Another way also, this is maybe not as likely. It depends on how they're set up for work, let's say, but you may be able to do a virtual private network or VPN. An example of that is Cisco Anyconnect.